starting to get settled after the Frelg was essentially delegated to producing food for everybody. And a small contingent of our party was told by the planner to retrieve his tech and find him, which was an extraordinarily vague instruction that was delivered by a pickpocket. um, who was like a cat person pickpocket. It was really cool. We ended up following these instructions towards the three spires in the slums, where after Rek had erected a small altar of Bahamut towards it, or near it. So we all started climbing up towers. I picked the wrong one the first go, and it was not the tallest. It was like the second tallest. And there were three spires that we had to climb through and figure out what was going on, trying to find this tech when we had absolutely no description or anything about what we were going about doing. We eventually found the spire where everything was where we assumed the tech was, where we were confronted with a locked door that Krenin had the idea to pull open with his blanket and a couple of things because it was electrocuted and we did not want to get ourselves killed. Once we broke the door, it was obvious that there was a bunch of stuff going around, lots of people running, lots of people scrambling, the sound of a lot of things whirring up, and when we arrived, we were greeted by a tilted workshop that looked like it had quite literally been ripped out of one reality and thrown into ours, with a shirtless but sort of armored fella with a giant fuck you hammer that was Horgrim, called Horgrim Steel Shower, who is about twice the height of almost anybody in the party, it felt like, and then a very long, beautifully 18-inch mustachioed dwarf called Agramondius Fowl, who was clearly an extraordinarily intelligent fellow. When we described what we were coming after, he sort of shrugged it off and was dismissive of it, but explained that we probably got pulled through he probably got pulled into our dimension. We explained where we were and recognized the Freeport of Alls as an area that he was familiar with, and there was a couple of other informational bits that I'm not super clear on because I don't really understand what they were talking about. I'm kind of falling into Trist's little voice actor stuff here. But Agramondius talked a lot, and I really didn't understand half of it. But we understood what a portal was, and that was basically what happened. A bunch of people kind of tried to escape this kind of horrible life on the in the slums, I guess, because it was poor and sucky, and can't really blame them. And from there, we met up with the planner again, who immediately Agramondius recognized as Trevor. I forget his last name.
Derek Travers.
Derek Travers, who was the planner, who was revealed to be Derek Travers, and we meet up with his fleet that then took us on and basically said, okay, I'm heading. This is the way that Keeley's parents' fleet is heading. We're probably going to be going the same way. You guys can come on my ship. Also, you found Agramondius, which is not my tech, but he can make the tech, so whatever. So we got onto his ship. We were greeted by the I don't want to say he was a gnome because he was definitely something else. It was like animated gnome gnome Frankenstein thing going on. And he drilled us and taught us a little bit about the world that we're around. He taught us how to, dismount and get out of pods that basically were shuttles that would be launched from the ship that we were in. It was very Serenity, Firefly, Millennium Falcon, that sort of thing. And Agramondius went around the ship kind of fixing it because apparently it had not been maintained very well, in his absence, I assume. And we kind of learned a little bit about how everything works. Then we got to sail a little bit, got to go up on deck, watch the beautiful, totally not Aurora Borealis, blah, 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 can't talk, sea, and we got to kind of get familiar with this sort of ether sea experience that we're going to have, traveling in a large, vast, weird, undulating space place, and we're then forced to be silent, in which hilarity ensued, like Drax getting rubber feet and other things that made it so that we couldn't talk or various things like that. We also had an attack that we were then expected as marauders, because obviously this was the exchange that the bosun, that was the word, the bosun gnome basically said that we would become marauders and, take and assault ships and take them as our own, as plunder from the core, which we eventually were called to do so. Problem is both of our shuttles got kind of waylaid, and the first one was the result of one of the pilots being knocked out unconscious, and the other one was someone who was wounded relatively minorly, but we were unable to take off, so we had to engage with with armor, basically, like sentient armor, but not sentient armor, more like controlled and magicked armor that didn't have any brain links or activity of their own. So we were fighting that, and that's when hilarity ensued, i.e. Honehaka taking the unconscious pilot, unable to pull him from his chassis because he wasn't paying attention in the classes about how to unseatbelt somebody, apparently, ripped off the entire chair and carried him off of the ship, trying to make sure that the unconscious man, doing his heroic duty, keeping the unconscious man out of the line of fire, only to be confronted by one of these armor chassis, and then proceeding to beat it over the head with the chair, with the pilot in it. But not before Sana, on my side, in the one that had the minorly wounded pilot, bear rushed and murdered one of the sets of armor by ripping its legs off. We had a whole bunch of solid hits from a number of our members, casters and fighters alike, but obviously those two sort of stole the show. We were then able to all pile into one pod with a standing, now no longer unconscious pilot to assault the ship that was killing us. The ship that we would later understand to be called the Ambrosius, I think was the name of it.
Ambrosio.
The Ambrosio, where we found a single man wearing what looked like a Praetorian helmet, or like a giant Roman helmet, that seemed to control all of these sentient robots. And we basically, I think, bared him to death. And then we won, and greeted us with the proposition of allowing us to keep the ship and go on our own way, and we chose to keep the ship. And the captain and the, what's his face, our Lance? Our navigator, Lance?
Vance,
who is now the guy that basically drives the ship. And, we now own an Ether Sea capable vessel that can carry us to meet up with the Goldplume, Healy's father. And from there, we'll figure out a way to get everybody back home. That's the end so far. There were other little things that I'm sure we can hash out, but those were the important bits. I hope I summed up appropriately. We danced afterwards. There was dancing, because I said dancing is going to happen now. I danced with all of you.
Rek and Turstar got toasted and boogied until their tails
Yes,
fell off.
we all danced. We all danced because I made you all dance. And I think that's about it.
Well, almost everyone does.
Hey, you were being a sourpuss, and then you threatened to castrate me, or kick me in the balls.
No,
so I refused not to.
You threatened to pick me up.
I threatened to pick you up, and then make you dance with me, and then you said no. So I Peter Quilled all over the campaign, and then said, okay, fine, I won't make you dance yet. And then I walked away, and danced with other people.
So
Because we have a
to
ship.
find a woman who will not dance and is pathetic like him.
Yes.
There's a reason, damn
the most melodic song could be playing. She would not even tap her foot. So yes, that is what happened. Also, I think Tursta is now living in the crow's nest. And yeah, that's a thing.
I don't have radar, or I don't have LiDAR yet, but I will.
We've also repainted the ship to make it not look like one of the core ships, because that would be really bad.
The core is in my race core.
The Authority.
The Authority. Sorry, the Authority. I'm sorry. I told you to fix it if I said something wrong.
I was just going to let you get through everything. They're not the core, they are the authority. The
Right.
civil authority.
I'm the core.
Yes.
Who make up the bulk of the Stonehand Legion. But that's a whole other topic.
He also had an eye inserted into Drax's head that seemed like it was a really important thing that was an attuned item that we have not really gotten any result on. But
Then he immediately pieced out for the day, apparently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that was a thing that seemed to be leading up to a plot, because we were talking to Agramandius, and he inserted it into his eye, and nothing happened, but he was attuning to the item, and that seemed to be our next thing, but I guess that's not happening tonight, so hooray!
It can. I didn't go anywhere. I just stopped talking.
No, you definitely disappeared from voice chat for a while.
I heard the entire explanation. Okay.
You were in Lurker Lounge when he was putting the roster together, which is the relevant part to determine whether someone is here for purposes of being included or not.
But, regardless, that can resolve later. So, yes, you're aboard the Ambrosio with your newly acquired Aether Seafaring pilot, Anthony Vance. For those of you wondering at home, if Vance has one name like Madonna, no.
I thought he did.
No,
Darn,
it's
okay.
Anthony.
Anthony. Alright, cool.
So you are traveling basically alongside of the Unmitigated Disaster, which plans to make a turn. They use all kinds of weird words, but to your understanding, to etheric west, to attempt to draw off Authority Pursuit. And you've traveled, you've kind of gotten the lay of this little ship that you're on, which is somewhere between, like, cabin cruiser size and small naval vessel size. It would probably be, if you actually had to, like, give it a scale, it's the size of, like, a sloop.
Yay! Sloop is fun to say.
Indeed.
Yeah, it has it has a large shared bedroom, if I recall, or a place
bunk
for it.
room.
Yeah, it's a bunk room. It's not like the individual rooms that we had prior. So Tursta, of course, goes up into the crow's nest.
And there are more bunks in the bunk room than there are people in the crew. There's like 16 of them because they're set up in, like, well, it wouldn't be 16, it'd be three. There'd be 18 of them because they're
Gotcha.
3 tall, and they're literally like cubbies. Like, you can't even sit all the way up in it.
Tightly packed, like sardines. It's cool.
We have room for a musician, though.
Of course we do. It's important.
So as you've been traveling for a little bit, a few days, you've gotten kind of an understanding of how the ship works. You now have an understanding. Basically, anyone can hold on to the wheel in a non-combat situation. Anybody can hold the rudder and keep it straight.
Oh no.
But only someone who can cast magic can make it actually do, like, combat-type maneuvering and hold the thing together through more complicated actions.
So we're going to have fans doing most of that.
Keely seems to think she's the only one who can cast magic.
Tursta can cast spells. The
The
caveman will take
fucking
the hell.
lizard man can cast magic. All of you are done. When I jokingly said today, you all died, I wasn't kidding. Tursta ran you into an asteroid.
Tursta, why?
Did I seriously run them into an asteroid?
No, I'm joking. I'm not going to make
Okay.
you just randomly run people into an asteroid. I'm not that much of a dick. I would do
You
that
have
to
full
Brian. if
permission to
anyone-
say Tursta took the helm and crashed the ship at some point. He's not a good pilot.
No. I assume Vance every time he's doing like the every time you're at the
He's kind of given up trying to deal with Tursta. It took him about 5 minutes. He was like,
Okay.
I've got lizard, and bird. I'm done.
I think Sana would be like, I don't cast magic. Nope, nope, not cast magic. Nope.
Tell me what you know, Mr. Vance.
I mean, he basically runs down how it works. He is like the world's most limited understanding of how it works, right? It's like a fighter pilot. He knows how to fly, but at the end of the day, he can't really explain to you why it flies.
I'll take the how. I'll take the what to do now. I'll work on the why later.
Yeah, he can start working people through like how to drive the boat. But so as the unmitigated disaster makes its turn to Etheric West, you guys maintain effectively a straight path. Or no, they would have turned to Etheric South because you're already going Etheric West. And you have a map. Map is a loose term for things here because things do move within the like grand cosmos. And you are traveling a considerable distance towards Keely's parents. So what are people doing to pass the time on the boat for the unknown time period?
I am taking every watch at the wheel that I can get. I need practice.
I would be doing a lot of getting familiar with just what I can use to swing from on this ship. I'm going to make sure that, like, you know, obviously there's going to be the lifelines that keep you on. There would be a lot of me testing and making sure that we have evacuation stuff, all that stuff, you know, sorted. And I would also spend a good deal of my time playing music because we have a ship and it's super awesome.
I'd be helping people lift stuff if they need it, but mostly trying to stay below deck. Meditating, milling around downstairs, playing around with water, and kind of keeping to myself, though, chatting with some of the members of our group if they're around.
Dovo would basically become part of the crew, just helping with the day-to-day.
You are the crew. There is no one but you guys.
Oh, no one extra? Okay, well then...
It's just Vance.
Strictly making things easy for everyone else. So basically, I don't know. What do they call? What are the sailors called that, like? I don't know. The deck swad. I don't know what they're called.
Deckhands?
You're either an engine room snipe or a decade.
The second one.
I would learn how to drive the ship. I think everybody should take turns being able to learn how to, like, at least make the ship move.
Yeah, I'll do some of that because I am a sailor. I do have a little bit of sailing experience that I can maybe apply to this.
Yeah, so you've got Tursta taking a turn at the helm to learn how to pilot it, making some vague allusions to piloting a very small, like, 4-man craft in Victoriana. And you have to imagine what it's like riding in a car with a fighter pilot, if any of you guys have had that experience, to imagine what it's like being on the ship with Tursta at the helm.
So we would tell you to slow down a lot.
And stop leaving
dear.
and doing loop-the-loops for the hell of it. Yep. Otherwise, spending a lot of time in the crow's nest, and beyond that, spending a lot of time being wherever is convenient for gaming or amusement purposes.
It's funny.
The lizard has ADD.
I think Sana would spend a lot of time up in the rigging. It's the closest thing to a tree this ship has.
So she's hanging out with Tursta a lot then.
Yeah.
Tursta has a nest up there.
You would carve out some space for Sana up there if she spent a lot of time up there.
As long as she's not a bear.
And it has like solar sails, right? Like it has that kind of thing.
That power it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I would be very social. That's kind of what I do. Oh, I also would spend a little bit of my time getting to know how people feel about the, meeting Goldplume, stuff like that, checking in with, with all that, because at least we might have some lead with, the seasoned captain. Not that we need a ship now, but It would definitely help. Also, I continue to call Keely Captain because it will make her less grumpy.
The only one to do so. Trust a lot.
In fact, Vance makes a point of never calling you captain.
But yes, Trist would
Despite
have...
being super respectful of Vance.
He in fact makes a point of referring to you as the bird.
Oh, jeez.
So you, after it's probably about a week, 10 days since you last saw civilization, so to speak, you come across kind of this rippling off-color aperture in space. It's like a black hole if a black hole was made out of lukewarm green pudding.
Delicious.
Keely, you have been to enough worlds, even though you're not, technically not playing tonight. You've been to enough worlds that you would recognize it, and Vance will actually throw out there that beyond said lukewarm green pudding is a actual world, like a recognizable realm with normal rules of physics and stuff.
We can use it to travel there? How do you get out?
Same way you come in. Somebody sacrifices a spell slot and pops through the hole.
Huh.
Because
Do you know what world it is?
I can't sacrifice a spell slot for the purpose of the plot.
Right, it's the 6 people who are playing.
Curses.
But there's a world beyond that gate. Beyond that aperture, and he has no idea what it is because he's never been here before.
I'll ask him. How do we get back once we've gone through?
Same way you came through. You'll pop through a world gate. Come back through it the same way.
Which would mean you either have to have 2 spell slots ready to sacrifice, or sacrifice 1, rest, sacrifice the other to get back through.
Which,
Do
I
we
mean,
want to
mechanically...
go?
Well, that depends on how riveted we are to the purpose of finding the gold plume.
What's on the other side?
I mean, I'm
I don't
curious.
know.
You don't know? Does anyone know?
Do you know
No one
this
on
particular
board.
slipstream?
Take us through!
Does the I mean, are we are we on a schedule?
I mean, the gold plume is coming this way regardless. So it's kind of a whatever.
So we could have time to go and explore this world as long as we don't, spend years there.
Theoretically.
I mean, I'm curious. Do you know where this slipstream goes to, Vance?
Never been here, can't say.
But you say that there is another world on that side. We would be out of this hellscape and into another place, like one of the ones we came from.
Perhaps.
Theoretically.
Then I am foregoing.
Or it could be worse than here.
There's that. I mean, I'm curious. And I mean, the lizard looks like you might actually grab the helm.
I doubt that much could be worse than here. I just give a really shifty look around.
Joke is not far off, by the way. Terstow's eyeing that helm.
There are worse. Trust me.
It would still be new. Let's go!
I'm very tempted to grab Tersta's lifeline just to make sure he doesn't jump towards the helm. To steer us into it.
As discussed, it's not enough merely to pilot the ship to the gate. You still have to open it.
Can do if need.
Who's actually at the helm?
Vance, technically.
Okay.
I'd like to explore it. I mean, besides, I think that we have some time before they're going to arrive. We're just supposed to sail in this one direction, and if we come out this way and we're guaranteed come out of this slipstream, then, I mean, we'll be right here when we get back.
I would enjoy a chance to stretch my legs.
Plus, we could resupply. I mean, there's not a lot of water.
Maybe.
I think the more accurate question is: does anyone not want to go?
I openly brighten at the prospect of there being water on the other side, which I hadn't really thought about until now.
I mean, yeah, we could really use the resupply. I mean, that or we're sitting here in the Aether Sea getting cabin fever.
The helm is the standard spoked wheel on a post thing.
I mean, ish.
I say we go in.
I as well.
Vance, I think we should pilot in.
Oh!
Do not let Tursta drive.
So
She's
when
wising up.
you
Tursta's in the crow's
decide that
nest.
you're going to actually go in, Vance kind of pulls up alongside the thing. Like you pull up alongside a dock, and he throws out these buoy looking things that when they hit the end of their tether go totally rigid, so the ship is effectively docked. And he drops a wooden plank that hits the aperture and kind of gestures towards it.
And Tursta's gone.
Damn it,
Who is giving up a spell slot? Who's burning their spell slot for the day?
I will. Doesn't matter which slot, just any slot.
No, it has to be a first level or higher.
I will burn a slot.
Thank you, Sana. Bumblebee. Call you Bumblebee.
More bear than magic. Magic open doors. Good stuff.
I nod. So we only need to use one person's spell, and we can all go through that. Just making sure.
Yeah, one spell everybody can get through.
Yeah, because if we all needed to use one, I'd be kind of fucked.
Let's make sure Tursta hasn't caused, mass panic already. And I walk off the plank, I guess.
The plank actually pokes through. You're walking
Okay.
through.
I'm going to walk through right behind him.
Same. Does it feel like we're walking through pudding?
It's not inaccurate.
I follow.
We'll be back, Princess. I'll try to bring back shinies. And I would tip my invisible hat at Keeley and walk away.
I will go through last. Doing the whole poke, then step through.
So as you guys clamber through this gate, Tursta goes through first and gets the immediate face full of hot, arid, sandy air as you realize that it is the middle of the night. From the smell, you're in a desert, and it's still somehow hot.
Can't win them all, I guess. I doubt there's water.
Everybody can make perception rolls as you pass through the gate, though.
Hey, good start.
You're such a hero.
You're trying your best.
How did I roll higher than you?
Ulf.
Yep.
Are you using the can't roll lower than passive rule? I forget.
Yep. Unless
Okay.
you roll a 1, obviously, because you roll a 1, you get fucking tangled in your own shoelaces. You know how it is.
In that case, I am 11.
Okay, so everybody above a 10. So 11
Yay.
plus. In the distance to a direction, because you're not really sure what direction north is yet, you can see the distinctive glow of what is likely a city or a town or a large camp, because you can't see any structures yet, but you can see the glow like over the horizon line.
There's gonna be a sun. This is a desert. I already hate this.
Yes, and if it's this hot at night, can you imagine what it'll be like when the sun comes up?
Oh, and behind you there is a massive stone edifice that looks not dissimilar to like a Stargate.
Oh.
It's a big ring.
I want to get to wherever that light is coming from as long as it's not a sun. If it's a sun, I'm just going to cry. One thing I really prefer about the Ether Sea is not having to deal with that, and my corneas being burned. So I would start heading towards that area.
The sun is harsh for you.
So the honeymoon's over then?
The sun isn't harsh for me. The sun just doesn't work for me. We're not on a speaking basis. This complexion doesn't really work so well in the sun either. Gray. Yeah.
Shrug. While we're traveling, Turstall's going to be kind of ranging out and back and out and back, looking for water or food or anything.
I need everyone's passive insight. I need Tursta and Sana's active insight rolls.
Would favor... No, wait, let me check
Wisdom,
something.
you mean?
It's insight, isn't it? Isn't that the skill?
Passive wisdom is perception.
Insight is detecting bullshit from people around
I want
you.
insight.
Right?
That's the one I want.
Okay.
How do you time out? How do you get a passive insight?
10 plus your modifier in
yeah.
insight.
Okay, all right. Never heard it referred to that way.
It's I don't want you to make a roll, but I want to know if you just pick up on it by some chance.
Also, I saw that, Krenin. Not blind yet.
Saw what?
Nothing.
I want Sana's active roll. Oh.
That beats my passive by a significant margin.
You pick it up. Let's see Sana's, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so the only one who picks it up is Tursa. So as you're ranging out, you realize very quickly that maybe 10 minutes of walking puts you over the horizon line to the group. You can walk like 10 minutes, and enough of the curvature of this world goes by that you're over the horizon line. And you realize that, like, if you poke your head up a little, you can see the top of Honiahaka's head over that horizon line.
Oh my god.
What?
So, in the
Little
midst of
Prince?
in the midst of doing this, I'm gonna go for comedy over pure effectiveness. At one point, Turstall's actually going to poke his head up, stretch up as tall as he can, so he's peering over the horizon at the rest of the group. Hey, look over here!
You guys look over, and somehow over the horizon line, there is the tip of Turstall's snout and his fucking tongue, like, twiddling in the air.
What the? Okay, then.
I just like rub my eyes and then look again.
What are you looking at?
The lizard there.
Yes, because the gnome cannot see.
I lift Sana up so she can see.
Halfling, I'm sorry, but still.
Do we have any other
I'm
short people that I can lift so they can see it?
I'm going to put
No.
Sana on my shoulders.
Cranon, are you too short to see
No,
it?
he's a medium-sized creature.
Ah, okay.
That is an
I didn't want you to
impressive
get
skill.
ideas.
So now Tursta's snout is greeted by Sana sitting on my shoulder.
I wave. Hi!
He
What
rears back, and then he
on
starts
earth?
skittering back towards the group.
I mean, it's a 10-minute walk at a pretty good pace, but you're pretty sure that this world is absolutely the smallest you've ever been to, Tursta. And that's saying something.
Where was the light coming from?
You're going to find out here in a minute.
This is a very tiny rock.
Very tiny.
So as
Yes.
you crest the horizon line, you realize that you are standing on a embankment looking down into what should be a crater. But as you look into the crater, you realize that it is not a crater, it is the inside of a geodesic dome. And there is a village down inside, literally exactly where the gateway would be on the outside of it. And it is a jungle inside.
Whoa.
And as you are standing on this precipice, the world is rotating, because they do that. And on the next horizon line, you can see the distinctive glimmer of the sun coming up on the far side.
I want to get into this crater, like, as soon as possible. Because if there's trees under there, I can hide under the trees.
Yeah, also, if the desert was hot as a normal desert without the sun out, we're gonna fucking fry if we're under it.
Mm-hmm. Matters just because it's a super small planet and the heat from the day doesn't really leave because the sun's moving that fast. But that wouldn't explain why on Earth there's this one area that's in the well, I guess maybe if it stays in shadow.
Yeah, I think that we should head in there, though I'm gonna take out my greatsword and walk in, cautiously.
You don't want to look too threatening. What if there's, natives here? Or a native?
Tursta looks at Triss like he was born yesterday. It's a jungle. You
Yeah.
weapons in a jungle.
Fine.
I'm just gonna take a look and see if there's any points of reference, landmarks, or what have you that can identify where we came into this cave, so that when we want to get back to the big circle thing that takes us back to a ship, I might have some way of.
It is a giant hole in the sky that you can see from everywhere inside the world. Like, it is as impossible to lose as it is impossible to lose sight of the sun in the noonday sky.
Okay, just making sure.
And just a reminder to Ulf, because it's mechanics, one of the things that's hard-coded into Ranger, you can't become lost except by magical means. So one way or the other, getting back shouldn't be
You can see the hole in the sky. For the first time ever, your ability makes total sense.
Ha-ha!
Everybody else is like, where are we? And you're like, there's a fucking hole. It's right there.
Triss tucks his hands in his pockets and starts wandering into this jungle.
So when people talk about how hot and miserable the rainforest is?
Mm-hmm.
It is immediately that. There is this oppressive, overwhelming mugginess where you feel like you are eating the air. You're not breathing, you're drinking.
I think I want to go back to the ship now.
Feels like home.
At least there's water. I mean,
There are
at the very least,
trees,
get water.
but the bark is kind of a like plum purple kind of color. And the leaves are kind of a like sunburst orange kind of color.
Those don't look like any plants from Tursta's actual home, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay.
But they look decidedly foreign. The fruit that grows on them looks weird. The berries that grow on the bushes are strange. you feel like every one of these plants has some kind of defense mechanism to kill you. There are spines and pricklers and various constricting vines and things. It's kind of terrible.
Ugh. Don't touch that! I don't think touching anything is a good idea. Also, fuck.
It is somewhat sad to admit, but this is the closest to my world I have seen in many 10 days.
This?
Yes, this. Not exactly, but not even closely, but the
How can
most
you-
similar.
I was gonna say, how can you handle wearing a wolf on your head if you're walking around in this nonsense? I can't barely barely handle wearing the coat, and I'm shirtless under this right now.
The forest is kind of where I am from.
True, and
The
if
forest
it's
must be boring.
well, Tursta, since this seems to be the closest to what you've got, I think you should take point.
That way.
It was sculpted by the pride of the ancestors. It was meant for humans and other beings to be strong.
Well, I think this place will test our strength pretty well. So,
Sounds like a good person.
given that berry, it looks like it wants to give me the stink eye. Yeah, we should probably keep moving. I hope there's water.
There must be some.
The nature focus type folks, trees of this size, they're probably water bearing to begin with. You could check.
I'm kind of curious if I count as nature focus.
I'll take a look at them. I'll hop down and wander over to one of them.
Yeah, sure.
Nature is still a skill, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
That's what you mean. Okay.
Just checking the natural explorer stuff because it's weird. Lanala provides.
Yeah, you guys kind of knock on the side of one, take a spear tip or a dagger or something of that nature, kind of pop a hole in it, and there's water.
Question is it poisonous? I feel like that wouldn't be super great to.
With an 18 and 19, it's potable.
Okay.
It tastes a little off and kind of weirdly sweet, but it's potable.
Excellent. I would fill my water skin then, considering we're in a desert place. That's a good idea.
Twist.
I'll do the same.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I will also do that with mine, and I will kind of try to commune with the water a little bit, even though I don't really have any actual ability to do that. But I'm gonna stick my hand in it and see what I feel.
Wet.
Sana can make water.
Sure, but it's a good idea to have a supply of it to take back to the ship. Making water's great, and being able to produce it with magic is always wonderful, but we don't always have that option. Trust me.
Yes, but do you know what we did not bring?
What? Barrels?
Barrels to bring it back.
We can find it again.
Yeah.
In Rustbot, Sana make water. This tastes good though.
Sort of sweet, like nectar almost.
What about the fruit, Ulf?
You can find ones that are good, and there are also ones that are poisonous. But in general, most of the fruit seems to be okay. The berries seem to be poisonous.
And clamber up and toss some of the fruit down.
Can I look for signs of civilization? I'm no good for the nature stuff, but finding people I'm pretty good at.
I would like to look for that with you.
I mean, I don't know what I would roll on that. Just,
I mean, you can just roll perception.
I mean, did see earlier across the horizon? Was that just the sun?
Yeah. Now you can also. The sun is blazing down through the hole in the sky.
So 11 again for me.
Why am I not seeing new rolls?
17 for me. Also listen for cries of animals and stuff. I feel like that's a good idea.
Can you guys hear me?
Now I can.
Now we
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Fucking weird. Yeah, you can hear some animals and stuff. Nothing that sounds large. Right? It's a small place that you're in, and the things that grow here don't seem to grow very big. And you don't see anything in the distance or any sign of civilization other than that village that you're still working towards.
So no signs of like cutting down the trees or utilizing the materials or I mean I assume there's small claw marks from small animals, but that's about it.
Not outside the distance to the actual objective, so to speak. Around it you see signs of normal villages habitating in an area.
Gotcha.
Are there signs of small or large animals present?
Small animals, yes. Are you guys going to just continue? Or...
I will.
I'd like to continue toward the village after spending a little time with the water.
I will follow them, but I'm far more interested in finding small animals or medium animals.
This is gonna sound a little weird. Tursta is not necessarily people are heading toward the village, cool. But Tursta's actually looking for any tracks or trails or anything like that the villagers may have left in the area.
Smart.
There are definitely tracks. Go ahead and roll. What is the actual applicational skill for that? Is it just perception now?
Survival.
Survival. Roll survival.
Haha. Assuming they're humanoid.
They are. The feet are small. They are smaller than halfling small.
Oh.
And for my own comparison, gnomes are larger than halflings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So upon discovering this, Turstal is going to wave Honiahaka over and point right at the tracks.
Hmm.
They're tiny.
Very much so. Any
What
ideas about their
I mean,
society?
Tiny. Like half the size of a halfling's foot.
Yeah, but Turstal reckoning that's tiny for people.
Yeah.
Never seen him before.
Neither I. Not even a halfling child is this small.
But in a place like this, they'll either be friendly or they'll hate everyone who's not them.
I would think that would be most places, my lizard friend.
I mean, being as small as they are, should probably let Sana go first.
It's not a bad idea.
Smaller than me?
Krenin doesn't look thrilled with that idea, but he doesn't say anything either.
She could maybe even take. Well, I mean, she's got the most experience with the small things. We're pretty
Just-
scary if they're this small.
Yeah. Well, Turstal's going to point at every person in turn as he says it. I look like a monster. Points at Honiahaka. He's a giant. Points at Trist. You're something that comes out of the darkness and steals children.
He's not wrong.
Points at... I'm blanking on Coddle's name.
Dovo.
Points at Dovo and... God, I'm shit at names. Bolo and Pepper, settling on Pepper. They look most normal. She looks closest to their size.
I look somewhat bemused at being declared most normal by the Aboriginal lizard man.
And,
I really like that description.
Normal is a term of relativity. If they all look like you, Turstar, then we, in fact, would not look normal.
If they look like me, they're wearing shoes. Shoes are stupid.
I'll take a look at the tracks and see which way they're going and head towards the village.
We might send with her a good speaker.
Please let them be small lizards wearing shoes.
Oh man, that would be fantastic.
They're a village of tiny lizard cobblers.
But their shoes are made out of people skin instead of alligator skin. Sorry, Bolo.
They
Turstar.
weren't previously, but they may be now.
Yeah. What do you mean that Trist steals babies? Like, is it because bards or are they?
It's
because bards have relationships with are known for having loose relationships with their families.
I shrug. Drow have a pretty screwed up rep. Not really my game, stealing kids. I was a consort, but the bad reputation stands. Pretty used to that.
Drow.
I'm a drow. Red eyes.
Hell,
What?
Evil. They tend to, steal babies, eat them.
We worship spider gods and raven queens that are basically symbols of death and pain and torture.
Trist is a hole filler. That's the exception.
That's pretty much, yeah, that's about that.
That's new.
Not new?
I've never met a drow. Never heard of drow. Till now.
Nice to meet you. I'm like kind of less terrifying kind. You should see the women. Sometimes they have 8 legs. And not the fun kind.
Don't take this wrong, but that's yeah. I'm not sure what to feel about that. Moving on.
Trust me, I don't really act like any of them. I had a pretty cushy life. My job was to make kids. Can't do that anymore, no. So I'm kind of expecting people to think that I'm trying to kill them. You guys haven't tried that yet, though. It's kind of cool. Tursta's got it, though.
Well, on my world, there is no comparable race, I suppose, would be the best way to say that.
I like the idea of being a sailor and a trader, though, Honiaka.
I met very few. Their kind does not come to the mountains very often.
Point
Should
stands.
find the tiny people.
Point stands. I'm probably not the best ambassador. If they eventually don't hate me, maybe. But
well,
I
so far
expect
you
people
haven't
to
tried
freak
to
out.
steal anybody's kids, so far you're doing pretty good.
I won't try to steal anybody's kids.
Of course, to be perfectly fair, we haven't had any kids nearby to steal.
I look
So,
around to make sure Keely isn't anywhere around. I mean, it's not like we don't have a kid that we probably shouldn't have, but still.
I argue we don't have her.
We do. Whether you like it or not, we have Keely.
On the ship inexplicably, how dare you?
How dare you?
I'm just uncomfortable with the idea of having. It implies ownership, which we don't have.
She's
Still
ours.
try to find tiny people.
It's an important distinction for me.
Keely's feathers are burning. Yes.
I'm not even talking shit.
She's a sweet kid, and we're trying to get her back to her dad. We kind of have a kid. I didn't steal her. We do have one, though.
So, do we step toward this village or not?
Yes.
Sure, let's
Probably-
get the terror.
probably
let
Sana lead.
Come on!
I mean, Sana leading is a good idea, because if they do turn out bad and try to kill us all, she can turn into a bear.
Yes, that did work well last time.
Ulf, Tursad being well aware of the fact that if these are, relatively normal-looking people, he is going to look like a predator coming out of the jungle. Because he's a predator coming out of the jungle, he is going to be hiding.
Bush. Convenient
That is
bush.
an excellent choice. Make your roll.
I'm sorry about that. I am having connection issues.
If they are coconut pygmies, I will be very pleased.
Yeah, we're just gonna shove you out in the front there.
Oh no.
I will take point.
No, that's the plan. Is because you're apparently the shortest one of us. So
You're the least imposing.
at least until Bear. Like once Bear, I think you kind of get the. Hey, Honeyhawk, did you bring a chair?
No, I left them behind.
I mean, the footprints are not distinct enough for you to be like, oh, they're shod, or oh, they're bare feet. It's more like scuff marks that have managed to maintain over God knows how long. They're not clear, discernible prints. As you draw closer to the edge of, like, the clearing, you hear some noises in the distance, and a tiny voice yelling something at you, and you guys need to make perception rolls.
Klaatu Barada.
Oh my fucking god.
So I have a 14.
Oh no. Trist, why?
Like, Honeyhawk, I really expected better of you. You really need to remember to bring the chair.
I have a passive of 13.
The chair's not going to help me see anything.
No, but it'll deal with the thing that we didn't see and jumps on us. I might actually see the thing.
I might need to cast a comprehend language, because my god, that roll.
So the only one that hears whatever they're yelling as more than just a weird screechy noise is Krenin, who hears a distinctive set of like syllables that are broken, like language should be broken up, but you have no idea what they're saying.
But the rest of us are basically just hearing like weird high-pitched screeches.
You know, like, it's almost like a squeal, and it's very high-pitched, like right at the edge of your hearing.
Ugh.
It's a language. I don't know what it is, but there's language in that.
Alright, I'm gonna try to cast my spell then. I will cast the thing on.
I'm going to take a wild guess it's not Draconic, Elven, or Giant.
No, it is a language just for these guys. Somebody would have to cast a spell.
I can do that now.
Okay. I was probably about to start cursing at them in Sylvan and see what that got me.
Don't do that.
Well, I was, but you're casting comprehend languages. We're good.
Don't have. I don't worry. I got what I need.
I start just yelling back in my tribal language.
It told me I have no characters active, so
do
I comprehend languages. Sorry.
Yeah, do exclamation point spell, and then spell you're casting instead of exclamation point cast. Cast
Okay.
tries to pull from a character sheet that you have active, and I think the only one using a full electronic sheet is Sajad.
And I don't even have any spells, so...
Yep.
for an hour, and I can listen real hard, try to hear what they're screaming at us.
Okay, so you listen real hard. Like, you stop, everybody stops, you're doing nothing. And in a high, squealing, kind of screeching voice, you hear this thing yell out, "You come among the Marmatini. Halt, or we will halt you."
We come among the Marmatini, halt, or they will halt us. So I guess stop and maybe display that we are not going to harm them.
I stop and stow my sword.
I stop.
Yep.
I stop.
Stop.
Show that my hands are completely unarmed.
Tursta, though hidden, is also stopping.
I would try common, and I would say, "Hello, we mean you no harm." Trying not to yell super loud to, like, i.e. deafen them, because I feel like that would be mean. Assuming they can hear us.
Yeah, they can hear you.
I do the spiel where I introduce myself. And do the little flourish bow.
So this figure comes clambering out of the bush. It's maybe 18 inches tall. It is dressed in clothing made of like vines and natural fibers and things like that. It has little armored pieces made of what looks like nuts, like acorns and stuff. And as you're looking at it, you have the immediate realization that it's a goddamn squirrel.
Oh my god.
A fat squirrel.
Bestrel, you didn't send us for takeout. Stop telling us to bring back a squirrel.
I would do my flourish bow and introduce myself. "Hello, my name is First Mate Trist, and this is my crew. We were just coming to visit. You have a lovely village, but we mean you no harm. And we mean you no harm."
Meanwhile, Tursta's wishing he'd packed barbecue sauce.
"Please don't kill the squirrels."
So a high screechy voice that I cannot replicate at all.
Please don't.
It holds up its left hand and holds its right hand to its chest quite dramatically and pronounces that I am one who squeals loudly, and I speak for the Marmatini. Why have you come to our... and says a word that does not translate, that you're assuming means world.
I would explain. "We come to your world in search of provisions, things to drink and things to eat. Where we come from, they're scarce. We were also quite curious. I did not imply such a thing. There's no malice in the way I present this.
The squirrel creature blinks kind of confused looking. More words come out that nobody else understands. And it gestures to the forest, says a word that you're coming to understand that whatever word they use to refer to the world is used in both the way that you would describe a world, because you understand the meaning of what they're saying, right? You comprehend it.
They comprehend the literal meaning of what they are speaking. So
It
if
is
they're doing
used-
sarcastic stuff, I can't get it.
It is used in the way both that you would describe this is where I am and this is what I revere. So it's very close to how Turstaw talks about Lanala.
Ah, so the planet is their god.
Where is he?
And their creator.
You learned a 3-syllable word. Good job.
Tursta has spoken 3-syllable words before.
Good thing that was out of character though, because
That
word.
that was a little out of character for me too. I'm sorry.
Do we have your permission to take of this? I would try my best at the word, or some from this god of yours, this world of yours.
The one who squeals loudly holds up one finger and ambles back into the bush.
Which is their village.
And there is a squealing... Like, literally, you've come to understand that this village you've been making your way to, this huge, sprawling structure, is less village and more like Arcology City for squirrel people.
That's
Like,
very close to the top of the list of sentences I never thought I would hear.
there are probably several million weird squirrel people living in what you thought to be a village for maybe 100 human-sized people.
Oh my goodness.
And it is all made of wood. Big piles of wood. You don't see a goddamn nail amongst them. Everything seems to be made of wood and plant fiber.
Keely would just be eating all of them!
Maybe we should bring one back for her.
Oh my god. Oh my god, he is the king of the... No, he's the one that screeches loudly, I like.
Ulf, serious question. Did you just invent furry smurfs?
They are not furry smurfs. He is not even the leader. He simply speaks for them. Because he happens to be the one who can cast comprehend languages.
Fair enough. Well, this is interesting. They aren't outright attacking us, though.
Yeah,
This
I
is
guess
an
if we're
improvement.
entering the settlement, Turstaw's gonna slink out of hiding and join the rest of the group, because at some point, you can't be sneaking anymore.
Generally, I'm going to try to do peaceful, approaches to civilizations that are clearly just, making their way. If in the event that doesn't happen, I'd prefer us not all be mauled by rabid squirrels. That's kind of my main goal, not to
So
die.
after
They
5
don't appear to be
minutes,
rabid.
after 5 minutes of frenzied screeching conversation in the bush, one who screeches loudly comes back out of the bushes and holds his right hand to his chest and holds his left hand up in the air and announces, "You must travel to the cave of exile Angermake and speak with the one who resides deep within. If their blessing you receive, word that you can't really understand but you comprehend the meaning of, bounty you may receive."
I think the one that screeches loudly and his people be working on the word.
And he points off in the distance, and you can see, like, curvature of the world that you're somehow walking inside of, that it is back up the wall another direction, and you can see literal ominous cave on the floor wall in the distance.
So Scary Cave. I
You
would
know,
bow and
Exile Anger Make.
I would bow and thank the Marmatini for giving us this chance to do their task and earn the respect of their world. And I would bow and I would turn to my party. So let's head to the Scary Cave.
So the shaman has told us that we must venture through the scary cave.
The Exile Anger Make. Yes, something like that. That's what I got.
You say that as if it will encourage understanding.
It means that the bounty of this world we will receive, which means that maybe it won't be out to get us, and maybe they won't be out to get us if we pass its test. That is.
Oh yes. I feel very. You know what? I'm not going to say that. That just leads to madness and trouble.
Come on, Kren.
Alright.
What's your sense of adventure?
If
Besides,
the-
Oh, I have
In
a sense
cave.
of adventure. I was about to be sarcastic, and that usually leads to hubris, and then hubris leads to problems. So, yeah, I assume that we are, on the whole, devoted to this cause.
I mean, it's better slaughter all the pretty squirrel people.
If the shaman of this world says that his world's spirits present us with a challenge, then we must answer it for the honor of our ancestors.
Attaboy, Wolfie.
What Hanyahaka said, mostly.
I would also like to point out, at no point did I suggest slaughtering them.
Well, sure, but we might piss them off if we try to take stuff without permission.
Yes, and I would not anger their world spirit or slaughter them.
They're
Brennan is
adorable.
trying very hard to keep a straight face.
They're adorable squirrel people. I mean, come on.
This is a tribal society. I sort of understand this.
Which is why he's trying very hard to keep a straight face. He's not good at it. And Credden's protestations about adorable squirrel people is not making his job any easier.
I start walking towards the cave.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I will follow Sana.
We should head to the cave.
It was one of the weirdest damn. Last time I met squirrel people in D&D, they just jumped us straight up. So I'm already a little weirded out.
I'm happy. I am always going to try to solve the problem with talking. This is my job.
I'm not even having a problem with that. Like,
All right.
No, I mean,
It's
for
just-
everybody who is in the party who
it's
might want to
just
initiate combat.
goddamn surreal, okay?
It's true. It's
Let's
you
go.
guys'
Let's
job.
go in the
to
Squirrel
think
Shaman
before-
Spook Cave.
It's all y'all jobs to pick the fight before I try to talk our way out of it. So
I wasn't even trying to pick a fight. Was anybody even trying to pick a fight?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, what kind of fight can you pick with a squirrel?
There's a lot of them. There's like millions of them in there.
Yeah, which means it goes either really good for us or really good for them.
To the Squirrel
Shit.
Shaman Spook Cave. Yes.
Sana can't fly
Yes,
yet.
away.
Let's not
Extra
pick
food for
fight.
the road. Squirrel's good and eaten.
So you guys start to walk towards the Exile Cave of Anger Make. Not Squirrel Shaman Spook Cave. Exile Cave of Anger Make.
Is the Squirrel Shaman Spook Cave a different cave?
Probably. Because keep in mind, you're getting the literal meaning of things.
Yeah, we were.
Because we wonder what it's
exile,
actually
anger.
called.
What does that even mean?
Probably it means that we, being exiles, are going to be very angry at this cave.
But we're not exiles.
I suspect we're about to find out. So let's just let this happen.
Maybe there's an exile in the cave that's going to make us very angry.
Maybe this is the cave that they exile their shitty squirrels to.
There could be that too.
Maybe it's
Or
full of like
from another
shitty-
planet.
Not
Maybe it's
when
full
the
of, like,
chipmunks
shitty
show
leper
up,
zombie
this is where they
squirrels.
go.
So as you get out of like hearing range of the terrifying squirrel arcology city of wood and plant fiber, you guys can make perception rolls.
Oh god, because I've been doing so well at these.
It's actually, I'm going to make you guys roll lots of perception rolls to see how many Sajad can fail in a row.
back!
Yeah,
do
but
see
you know
great
what?
There
You
we
critted
go.
with an injured guy in an ejection seat last week.
did.
This is karma, man.
Yeah, this is my karma. And so the balance shifts.
So, out of the distance towards you, you see it, and it's like this brightly colored dot. And at first, you think it's the heat haze in front of your eyes. Tursta, Sana, and Dova. It's that, it's the sun beating down into this fucking rainforest you're in, and the water, and there's always weird colors. And then you realize that it is not heat haze. It is a goddamn flying squirrel coming straight at your face. And seconds before this squirrel would make contact with Sana in front of the group, actually it'd be Tursta in front of the group again now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. This is gonna suck.
It rears up, throws its arms out wide, comes to a full stop, and drops to the ground with a flourish, and begins chittering in rather rapid squirrelese that you don't understand at all.
Don't understand at all.
Luckily, Trist is standing right there and still under the effects of comprehend languages. So this tiny squirrel is chittering rather quickly that you can't trust the Marmatini, that they're sending you to your death in the Peril's Cave, and that you must turn back and go back from where you once came before they kill you like they killed her people.
So you're not Marmatini, what are you?
And as you're looking at this squirrel, the squirrel is longer and leaner. It has a membrane between its wrists and ankles that allows it to fly.
It's a flying squirrel.
Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a D&D mod out of my hat.
Do you know what it is, Haxley? Do you honestly want to know what it is?
Flying squirrel.
I have a list of 200 animals that I pick at random for you when you guys run into weird ass critters.
Oh,
It is red.
And it's done that way so that you don't run into and it's an elf, but it's a blue elf.
So instead, we're meeting in exile, chittering at us in squirrelese, voiced by June Foray.
So if you're not Marmatini, what are you? Also, hi, I'm Trist. Thank you for the warning. What's in the cave?
Says a word, and that word you understand the meaning, and it is winged squirrel. But the word is Petaristini.
Aristini.
So is she in exile?
Are you in exile? I would ask the question. Well, I mean, you're speaking common, I assume, too.
She
but-
holds her hands to her chest and announces last of my kind.
I'm so sorry.
Looks is Trist translating that, or are we just hearing, oh, I'm so
Yes,
sorry?
I would translate, because I want the party to understand what's going on. She says she is the last of her kind.
Perhaps we should take her with us. Give her someplace safe to stay.
I would make her the offer, but the choice should be hers.
She can understand us, right? We're speaking in common. Or
No.
can she not understand us? Okay. I would
Can
like
come-
to.
I will try my racial ability that allows me to communicate basic concepts to small animals and see if she responds to it.
Yes.
Fantastic.
They're not people, they are sentient animals.
If you can ask her what's in the cave, and if she wants to come with us while we leave, some name.
You get literal meanings when the squirrel critter says things, and the literal meaning is doom.
The cuckoo!
That is literally all I am getting, is that it is doom. Only doom in the cave. Only doom.
So we don't even know if it's a monster or a magic or...
Just Doom. That's all I'm getting.
Literal meaning.
Stay
does.
with us. Stay. Come with us.
I feel like she doesn't want to come with us to the Doom
You
cave.
get-
Maybe we should just leave.
The flying squirrel critter is terrified of leaving because, according to the flying squirrel critter, there's nothing outside the forest but the death by sand.
That is fair.
Scale.
We came from the sand.
Well, we actually did.
Well, the way she understands it, let's kind of break this to her slowly, Kren.
We take her out into the Aether Sea and her head explodes.
In all honesty, this is probably why
Yeah.
I've never allowed to speak to children.
Probably.
More than sand. Come with us. Stay with us.
Ask
We
her if she
shall.
knows Lanala.
Ask her if she knows Lana. Your
So
priorities
you-
are very strange,
You
Trista.
tell the tiny squirrel creature that you came from the sand.
Yes, I'll translate.
That is the
We're not
literal response.
Wow.
Did she actually give herself a name?
Nope.
Yeah. Looking for name.
You like, there is confusion about the term that you're using.
Pepper, do you have a speak with animals spell?
It's my racial ability. It allows me to communicate basic concepts with small animals.
Yeah, but I'm asking if you have a speak with animals spell available to you.
Point it.
Wait a minute.
I would point at myself. Tristaran. Trist. Pointing at self.
Not currently.
Okay. Because I know the druids have access to their full spell catalog. I was just wondering if you had it prepared. Which, me granted, you had no idea.
Damn it! Next level, I can you.
Credit is actually looking at a squirrel with probably the most empathetic expression you guys could have seen on his face today.
As you attempt to like identify yourself by name, the squirrel person touches her chest and repeats, "Peterastini?"
Petera?
I will touch my chest and say Sana.
You have the understanding that that is not a name because
Right. That's the species.
right, that is not her name.
But she thinks that you're saying your own species, so she's...
Oh no.
For the moment, it will
I will-
suffice as she is the last.
Suppose.
I will inquire, what do they call you?
Peterastini?
The only they would be those who have hunted her and her alike to extinction.
Probably. I mean, it'll work for now.
We don't need to do this. We could go.
We
We
can.
have food for now.
And we can leave. That's always an option. Unless you guys are super curious about what's in the Doom Cave.
Doom Cave!
Still need water. Still need food.
It's true. I mean, we've got whatever we put in the water skins, but
I can feed people, but you wouldn't like my food.
I don't know. It seemed better than some of the stuff that they were giving us at the Freeport of Walls. That-
You have not eaten anything he's given you because he hasn't given anyone anything to eat yet.
He ate a cat,
It's-
though, in front of us.
When I wasn't at the controls.
Oh, okay. You're chasing cats. That was the thing. I thought you ate a cat.
Do you challenge my eating abilities, lizard man?
You might
Stop
be
picking on my cat, Vestral.
In her defense, every time you cue your mic, the cat decides to open its mouth.
It's adorable.
Still want to see what's in the cave. But
I'm
if
curious
we aren't,
too.
We should get food and water and
We should make
take
sure
her
that
past the sand.
we should make sure that Petrastini is safe. I don't want her to be stuck in our, shitstorm if we do get in fact doomed by the Doom Cave.
Besides, how many people can say, "Oh yeah, this week we TPK'd in the Squirrel Shaman Doom Cave"?
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, metally, I'm really interested.
I mean, you kill Turstop, I'm going to bring in Hieronymus, and then you're all
Exile Cave of Anger Mate.
She said it was Doom.
There's also the
It's
fact
the
that I want
Doom
to figure
Cave.
out what the hell that name is referring to. I'm as curious as my character for a change.
Yeah, I wanna go.
I actually have a theory, and what I think happened is that the cat more. What I think happened is the Marmatini drove her people into the cave where something killed them.
Good guess. But maybe we're going to be able to handle whatever tried to kill them.
Yes,
Well,
I
yes,
shudder to
there's-
think what I shudder to imagine what the squirrels think is doom. It will be no great challenge.
A very big shotgun.
It could be a very big dragon, too.
It
Look
would
around
have,
for Rex.
if it's a dragon, it's probably starving to death.
Well, Oh
That
no.
makes more scary.
My twisted evil drow brain just produced the thought of, well, I mean, for killing all of her people, we could just sick said doom creature on them for being dicks. But that does genocide an entire race. It's probably not so great.
Oh.
Whatever it is confined to the cave, otherwise it would have taken out. It would have moved on the Marmatini themselves.
Talk less, cave more. Turstop's heading that way.
I will follow Tersa.
I would make sure. But can we figure out a way to find Petrastini on our way out if we survive? So we can take her with us. 'Cause she's super cool and I love her.
She will actually stay with Sana because Sana
Okay.
can talk to her.
Okay.
If we're gonna keep her, we need to get her like a collar that's enchanted with speak with animals or something.
She can live in the rigging too.
She's wearing like a harness type deal that goes down like over her legs, down to her ankles, and they're like long lines, and up over her shoulders.
She seems super cool. If we recruit her, we'll do better.
There's like, and it's made of the same, like it's made of woven plant fibers, and there's like a tiny canteen on it, and like tiny bags full of like squirrel snack foods. She doesn't seem to be armed in any way, but her claws are terrifyingly pointy.
And after 6 or 7 more of these worlds, we have a little entourage of sentient badgers and squirrels, and
Hell yeah!
I'd be so happy.
And she's about the same size. She's about 1.5 feet tall.
She's a little smaller. She's maybe like 14 inches.
I feel bad for her people.
Yeah, I feel bad for him too. Let's kick the shit out of whatever this doom is.
Yeah, let's beat up the doom that hurt your people.
My ancestors will love watching me take on a challenge.
Well, I have a pouch that my ferret normally rides in, so I will show her that pouch and offer her a space.
You have a ferret?
Yeah.
It's a druid. Of course she has a ferret.
I forgot that she had a ferret.
So as you continue along, she doesn't want to get in the pouch because she can't fly away from the pouch. So she kind of stays on your shoulder.
Okay.
As you continue along, you get to this cave, and you guys have the immediate realization that a large, terrifying cave for squirrels is a narrow, like 2.5 foot circular opening functionally
So I'm fine.
straight down.
I don't even know if I can squeeze my shoulders through that.
I don't know. I'm narrow,
move to
but
secure a rope and grapple around the
I
nearby
can-
tree.
I can probably do this.
just go straight down.
It appears to go straight down.
Oh, holy shit! I have animal
Do it.
handling. Oh.
And am I able to see anything in like with dark vision down at the bottom, or am I only able to see the distance?
Uncomfortably,
Too far.
you cannot see anything.
This thing goes deep.
Or it's a magical darkness.
Could be that too.
We'll cast Produce Flame and drop it down the hole.
About 3 feet down, it passes through something, and there is a almost imperceptible whoomp, and then gone.
Magical darkness.
Great.
I give the hole a long look and I say, if you go into this hole of doom, I fear that you must do it without me. I'm not certain I can fit.
Portal.
Nonsense! I break out my pickaxe and start winding the hole.
Ah, thank you.
Wow.
So wait,
I start digging with my hands.
wait. So your plan is to make a bigger hole.
Yep!
I
I
feel
will
good about this.
toss a large rock.
Whoomp. Disappears. Continues to fall. Clack. Probably not more than 20 feet.
I would like to tie a large rock, just kind of secure it with a rope, and then lower it down until it whoops, and then pull it back out.
I mean, it goes slack. Are you letting it go all the way till it hits bottom, theoretically? Are you just going...
Until the whoop area.
Okay, it goes whoomp, and you pull it back up, and it's a rock on a rope.
Excellent. Well, if no one has any, what's the word? Problems with this.
Objection.
I'll go first.
If you like, Delvo.
Okay. I'll make my way down the hole into doom.
Be safe, warrior.
Always.
First, I will be. Are you tying yourself to a rope, Cuddle? Sorry, I missed you.
Nah, I'm just gonna free climb.
I am
Be
literally...
careful.
Oh, I'm only trying to make the hole big enough that Honiahaka can squeeze through.
I mean, like 6 inches down, it's actual stone. This is a lot of work.
Okay.
Can he squeeze through the hole?
Probably.
Okay. In that case, I will go down right after Delma.
Okay.
I put my pickaxe away and proceed to follow them.
So everybody's just going in the hole?
Breaking
I
out the
almost-
to go down.
I almost want to, do a swan dive maneuver into it, but I feel like that's a bad idea.
Going
yeah,
in right
given
after Cuddle, probably.
As the only one who can't easily wedge climb this hole, I am going to tie a rope off to a tree.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mentioned that yeah, we're good.
So you guys go down through the hole, and there is the enter, and then the whoomp as each one passes through, and it is pitch imperceptible, impossible darkness all around you as you pass through that hole.
This is unfair.
And 10 feet after the hole, or after the whoomp noise, you hit bottom. And it's still
The drift club doesn't work.
No.
Do we all just,
So, yes.
land on top of each other?
Assuming people don't move out of the way, yeah.
I mean,
Magical darkness. I
What's
haven't
happening? Okay, so Turstai gets through and can't see a damn thing, right?
Yep.
So he moves over, waits for the next, whoop,
How
pop.
far do you move?
Foot or two, not super far away, but far enough I'm not directly under the landing point.
Okay.
And what he's trying to do is, as each person comes through, he is saying, "This is me," grabbing their hand, holding it, and then shoving it into the hand of the last person who came through, and repeating until we've got a chain of people.
Okay.
Excellent.
Good plan.
I'll lead the group in one direction, and I'll keep my hand, my free hand,
5
against the
feet
wall.
from where you came in, there's another pop, and you are standing in a practically dark, non-magical dark cave.
Oh, excellent.
Hmm.
I'll tug on the person, whoever came in, whoever Turstall put in my hand. I'll tug on them to come through.
I'll cast Dancing Lights. Can I do that? So that we can maybe see a little bit of the way.
Well,
now
you've
that
got
we're...
dark vision. You should be able to see.
I
without
do.
it, too,
Well,
before-
yeah, but
Yeah,
but I'm not
drift
there
glow.
yet.
As soon
Can
as I pop through, there's a drift glow.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I can't see Donkey Dick without you people, so I'll need you
I'm
guys
gonna
to help
follow
me.
along. Follow Delvo.
I was right behind you, so the drift globe should be coming right out behind you.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, and a drift globe is it's a light source. As you guys are standing in here, you realize that you are in a space that is perfectly square, with doorways on all 4 walls, and that the floors, walls, and ceiling all appear to be made of metal.
It's quite odd for being a doom cave that was orchestrated by a bunch of squirrels. So I doubt they made this.
No,
It's
I
really
doubt that
not.
very seriously.
I think they merely used it for their own purposes.
Is there any? Are they bars on the doors, or is it just solid metal doors?
Just doors. I mean, they have a handle. They look openable. There's one on each wall.
I'm a poet.
All right.
You throw open the door, and the room beyond looks just like the room you're standing in.
I'm going to gesture for people to follow me, and I'm going to walk in there.
Leave the door open. Don't close any doors right now.
Everybody can make a wisdom save being in here, by the way.
Fuck it, Doug.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Remember, use your bonus under saving throws for this, so some of you might be proficient.
Is this a magic spell effect?
Yes.
Is this something that I can benefit from danger sense on? Oh, no, wait, no. This says,
No.
that's only dexterity checks, my bad.
Extra no.
No space after the
Yeah.
exclamation point.
This isn't doing so great.
So Pepper did pretty well.
My race is incredibly resistant to magic. I get to roll with advantage on int, wisdom, and charisma if it's a magic spell effect.
Oof. Was that ability checks or saves?
Saves.
So, you guys continue into this second room. It is just like the first room, except there is not a hole in the ceiling, nor is there a pillar of blackness in the middle of the room.
Are there any other doors?
In this room, just like the last room, all 4 walls.
Oh god. It's the Lucid Nightmare Maze.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that, Ulf.
One door on each of the 4 walls. Otherwise, identical dimensions to the previous room.
Should one of us be drawing a map?
I don't know. Should we?
need
I
to check
have-
something.
Chalk in my pack. I'm going to take it and draw a line on both sides of the door that we came through. So it's just like a straight line goes from one side to the other.
Ulf,
Yep.
I am taking one of my 10 pythons from my backpack and my small hammer, and I am shivving that door open.
Okay.
Just like if there's a magic effect that closes it behind us, whatever. I just don't want that thing closing accidentally.
Put it in the crack where the door meets the wall.
Yeah.
I love how all of us got immediately super paranoid as soon as we got down here.
So I was gonna say the chalk thing, and then Pepper beat me to it. So I guess Turstaw's just kind of looking around, like, okay, this sucks.
I'll open another door.
Okay, so you're going through to another room?
Yeah.
Another round of wisdom saves, please.
Which one did you pick?
Ha! Oh ho ho, Coddle, look at you.
I'm so wise.
Well, you nat 20 did.
Is my dwarf sense tingling at all? Like,
No, you're not actually underground, according to your understanding.
I'm uncomfortable
I'll mark this door as well.
because as far as I can tell, I'm clearly under the ground.
And once again, same all the way around, identical to the last room.
Oh, where's that door open too? Now I have 8 pythons.
Who thought this was a good idea again?
All of us.
I disagree. I did not think this was a
disagree.
good idea.
I was voting to go back to the ship.
Wait. Do we know this actually kills people?
Yeah.
All I know is that they said it was exile anger. Is that a concept that's
Yeah.
too hard for you to understand?
Yeah.
Exile,
kills
anger
them.
make.
Anger make.
Yeah,
Whatever.
What happens if anger make is us getting angry at Lost?
That.
Doom was also mentioned, I might add. I'm not quite fond of Doom.
Why not
Perhaps.
see if Ken go back before go too far?
Yeah.
All right, so let's return to the first room. Do we need to make wisdom saving throws on passing through the rooms that we've already passed through?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Oh boy.
Okay, now that sneaky messages are out.
I knew we shouldn't have come out this way. Why must I follow you imbeciles everywhere?
You're the imbecile. You're the one that.
I said that we should go back to the ship with our little flying squirrel lady friend. You all decided to come over to this cave and make us explore.
This talk helps nothing. Either get out of here, or we move on and be done with it.
Yeah, getting out. That's a great idea. How do we get out again? Right.
Tursta's looking at everyone befuddled as hell.
Ulf.
Yeah.
So, when we went immediately into the room we had just entered from, was the door we had entered that room still open?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guys, the door's still open. Just head back to that room.
No.
We'll just get out of the cave and go back to the ship.
Any idiot could see that the door is still open. Let us climb.
Very well.
Delvo just push and shoulder past everyone and go back through the door towards the original room.
Do we need
Real
to make another
teamwork over
wisdom
there,
save?
Delvo. Good job.
Talk, talk, talk. All you do is talk. How about some action for once?
It's my job to talk. Nobody else is trying to negotiate with anybody. All of you don't even bother. You rather poke it with.
I sidle over to Tursta
Yes.
and point to the door that I just saw open.
Tursta looks at the door that apparently no one in the group opened.
It's just sitting there like cracked open.
Why
I look
is
for my pipe.
that door open?
I mean, your Python is exactly where you left it. Wedged in the door.
Looking through that doorway in the other room, do I see the black pillar?
Into the original room, yes. A different door has opened spontaneously on its own.
Tursta is going to wink at Sana and the squirrel.
The squirrel
And
is
this
not
is-
there. The squirrel stayed outside. She slipped
Oh,
away when
okay.
you guys went down the hole.
Okay. He's going to wink at Sana then, which is really disquieting, seeing from coming from a lizard. Ah, all of you stupid mammals! And go over to the door that was cracked open and kick it wide open.
It's
Apparently in a
another
range.
identical room.
Blink, blink. That was.
Let's. It was a fair try.
Any chance I can do a perception roll? I don't want to not be able to give people inspiration in this situation.
What's that have to... What?
Maybe I am being manipulated.
What's that have to do with you being able to give people inspiration?
Well, right now I don't have the inclination to help any of you right now.
Oh, well. Yeah.
You can roll with disadvantage.
How do I do that?
Roll 1d20 LH1, I think. Or
It's
2d20
2d20.
LH1.
H1.
Keep
KL1.
KL1.
KL1?
Or KL,
Keep
yeah. Keep
lowest
low.
1.
I think you can also just do the roll and type DIS afterwards for disadvantage.
Having
'Cause
though kicked open the door, Turstad's gonna be not actually crossing into it, but looking
Like that
around
shows.
to see if there's anything in there.
Okay.
It's identical to this room.
Do we have to make another wisdom saving throw because he opened a door, or do we only have to do it if we walk in?
Turstad, did you go through the door?
Nope.
Then no.
Okay, so we were in a third room. We crossed back into the second room that we went into. Do we need to do another wisdom saving throw upon entering the first room? Because we didn't originally have to do it when we dropped down.
The rooms make you angry.
Probably.
No, I mean that literally.
So yeah, you have the inclination that something is affecting your baseline morality. You don't know if you care though, Trist.
Yeah. I figured. But that way I'm not completely bushwhacked, because right now I was like, I'm not going to help these assholes.
Turstad's going to look at Sana and look at Krenin.
Not sure if the
Credit-
point is to get angry.
Krenin already looks emotionally exhausted at this point. All right. I think the faster we get out of this place, back on the ship, we can maybe figure out a way to stop whatever is going on with them, because this flies in the face of all previous behavior.
Coddle went through to the Black Pillar room without everyone. Everybody needs to make a wisdom save.
I also went with him.
Everybody needs to make a wisdom save.
Can I use one of my advantage rolls this time?
Yeah, you can throw advantage at it.
Oh!
my god, no!
Excellent.
I get to re-roll my ones for saving throws.
Oh, you have the halfling ability?
I do not.
I have lucky. It's the core ability.
Yeah,
As
that
you are,
halflings have that.
like, as they're ranting and stuff, Tursa, like, you can feel, like, your vision narrow down, this kind of red haze shaping around the outside, and you're just like, why are the fucking mammals shouting? Sajad, you're like, fuck it, I'm done. Whatever the response you would have if these people had double-crossed you, that is your choice.
I rip my greatsword off of my back, and I rage.
Oh boy, are we doing this?
Okay.
I scream at the top of my lungs.
And we can roll initiative. You started combat by starting to rage. Roll initiative. I will start initiative.
Shit. I forget how we roll for initiative.
Well, he's got to start it first. Like, before you can start typing shit, wait for him to start it. This happens every time.
My bad.
I think it's just like bang in it start or something like that.
It's Exclamation init space add.
No,
space,
no.
I
Wolf's
think.
command. Wolf's command. But it looks like he got it. So
And I'm just going to sit back and call names. I can never remember if it is start or begin, Haxley, because start makes more sense to me as a command, but begin is what the game uses.
gotcha. Yeah, that's a little dumb.
Cuddle, did you pass your
I got
save
a
or
12.
your reroll?
He
Okay.
he is at the same level of raginess, which means he is still not pleased with you, but he's not like narrow-minded, hyper rage, fuck all y'all like you are.
Okay. So I'm the only one that's in the danger zone at the moment.
You're the only one who's gone full logins.
Okay. I'm really glad that there's 3 people ahead of me.
So to set the scene, most of you are not in the Black Pillar room. You're in the room next door. In the Black Pillar room, there are only Delvo and Honiahaka. So you guys don't really know what's going on, other than that Honiahaka has skinned steel and screamed. Other than that, you don't really know. So bear that in mind as combat begins.
Yes, but that's also the same scream he does every time he hits people with chairs and shit.
There is that.
Statement stands. You can make an educated guess.
Thank you.
Delvo.
Mhm.
Screaming Barbarian. Right there.
I am going to. How close is the dark pillar?
I mean, it's right there. Like, it's like a 20-foot room, and it's in the middle of it.
Is he in melee range of me?
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
I'm going to burn a key using disengage as a bonus action.
I have Sentinel, I ignore disengage.
Then I'll burn another one, and I'll take the dodge action.
As soon as you move, I'm going to take an attack of opportunity at you.
Okay. Well, go ahead. You have disadvantage.
I'm going to use Reckless Attack to make it normal.
Can you do that on an attack of opportunity? Normally that's just a basic attack.
Just a basic attack.
You can gain advantage on strength-based melee attacks by granting advantage to attacks against you for the round. Okay, yeah, I think I can only do it during...
When you specific wording because this matters. When you make your first attack on your turn.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so in that case, it is a disadvantage. I'm going to guess that that doesn't hit.
That does not hit.
Okay, good. I'm trying to play into the rage and that I would actually trying to hit you, but I don't actually want to hit you.
So I move out of his space and go right into the dark, and I'm looking for some sort of handhold, and if I can, I want to move up.
There's the rope.
Only handhold there is the rope. You can
Then that's what
find
I'm
it
looking
this
for.
turn.
Okay.
So since he's gone into the darkness and I can't see him anymore, I'm probably going to turn on some of the people that are now headed toward the room.
Dunno. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was gonna say, how do I go next?
That's managed by Ulf.
Yeah, it's Sana.
I just going to back away and take a defensive posture. At this point, I don't really have an action to do.
Ulf, how big are these rooms?
They're 20 feet.
Shit. Alright. I cast sleep in the other room.
You get one reaction per round, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have an attack of opportunity anymore. Good.
Doesn't matter. He's presumably standing far enough away, and you don't have a 25 to 30 foot reach.
No, I'm talking about if anybody else moves past me in this turn. I'm just making
gotcha.
sure that I'm making sure that I can't hit anyone else.
So
Go ahead and roll 5d8.
Yeah. I was hoping Devil would get out of there.
You have to
Go ahead and roll 5d8.
you have to beat our combined HP with sleep to get us to sleep, right?
Yeah, but I think Coddle left, and you're the only one there right now.
Coddle grabbed the rope this turn and couldn't get up the rope.
Okay, and it starts with the creature with the lowest current hit points.
Which would probably be him, considering that I have 27.
Oh, God.
How many do you have, Devil?
18.
Shit.
This is not happening, Ulf.
Because I would have had enough to get you.
So yeah, there is a dull thud. And the raging barbarian is still standing in the room.
I tried. Now I have to do it the hard way.
It was an excellent play, I will say.
I was really hoping that it wouldn't come to my turn.
So was I.
Okay, who can I see from where I am?
Well, we know you can see Krenin because he has to see you to cast that.
Okay. Can I see anyone else through the door?
Turstaw is at the other doorway, so you could see Tristan Krenin.
Okay.
Presumably, though,
Once he hits
given
the doorway,
how-
he can see everyone. But from where he is, he can see Tristan Krenin.
yeah.
Okay.
What I was gonna say was, if he's taking a run at Krenin upon getting to that doorway, Turstaw is gonna be a much closer target and quite possibly right on the way.
Mm-mm.
You're at a doorway on the other wall, so you're not convenient.
Okay, we gotta figure out a way to visualize this shit because I have a lot of trouble tracking this just by words.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. That's next on my list.
Did I see or hear Krenin do an incantation at me?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, I will center my gaze on him and I will bum rush him for a reckless attack. So I rolled an 8. Oh, wait. I didn't put my plus in there. I have a +5, so that'd be a 13. What's your armor class?
14.
Then I don't hit you. So I guess I'd slam my sword into the ground next to you.
Turstaw.
Bonus action, Hex on Honiahaka. and actual action attack on Yahaka.
It's Hunter's Mark, not Hex, right?
Hunter's Mark, yeah. That's
Yeah.
It's basically the same, but
basically the same, but it's physical damage added to the attack if I hit, not fucking necrotic.
And Hex gives people disadvantage on saving throws, doesn't it?
No, it absolutely does not.
Oh, is that that's something else? I forgot.
It gives you disadvantage on an ability check, which saving throws, and I believe attack rolls are not.
Okay. I knew it gave you a disadvantage on something. Okay.
Okay, and there's an additional +1 on this. I just cannot be bothered to. Okay, so that's a 24.
That's gonna fucking hit me.
Okay, and damage. Ignore the attack roll on that. So, yeah, that'd be 15 divided by 2 is 7.
'Cause barbarian.
Yup.
Mm-hmm. Alright. 7.0 damage.
Stop stabbing us, you idiot!
So what are you gonna do?
I'm typing it. I might just end up doing the spell because it's a pain in the butt. Always acts weird.
Yeah, just do bang spell and then the name.
Gotta confess, really glad that I didn't hit anybody. Even though I've really been trying to, because I would be trying to. Oh, thank God. Please disable me.
Just lay down. Stop yelling.
Okay, I have to succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Good, because I only have a +1 to that.
Assuming your intelligence is more than 4, which I think it is.
My intelligence is 10.
Yeah, more than 4.
5! Pretty sure I failed that.
So yeah, he collapses on the ground, laughing hysterically.
You realize that there were a bunch of squirrels that sent us down into this mission? And you just attacked your friends?
I do not realize that because I am still crazy in rage, but now I am just stuck on the ground laughing uncontrollably.
So Delvo, asleep.
Yep.
Sauna.
Pass.
Krenin.
I break the manacles out of my backpack and manacle him.
Manacle
Okay.
laughing. Make your wisdom save, however.
Another 5.
Bolo always carries manacles.
Mm-hmm. It is a smart thing to do.
Tursta.
I am torn between the lizard is furious with the raging barbarian and the fact that this is going pear-shaped and he's probably aware of the fact it's going... No, I know what he's doing. He's mad. He's walking over and he's biting the shit out of Delvo. Wake up, you lazy fuck!
You can't see me.
He's in the
Fell back
darkness.
into the room. Oh, he's... Wait, what? How?
He walked.
Yeah, he's in the
that
pillar of
room.
There's
darkness.
a pillar in the middle of the room. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot that. Okay.
We just heard a thump.
So you are groping around in the 5-foot circle of darkness until you find him.
I don't even know really. Sorry, this is why I loathe people who say you don't need maps in gaming. I'm abysmal without a map.
If I could find a way to do it that didn't cost me $250 and or using an entirely separate program.
Nah, I've got ideas, but we'll talk after the session. Just kicking Honyahaka a lot.
Do I take damage?
If he takes damage, he makes a save.
Not actually trying to kill him, so no, not damage, but stupid.
Trist.
And I'm just like rolling around on the ground, thrashing from the laughing.
Why?
And you guys said that there was no point in talking, Trist. No point in talking, Trist. Yeah, I don't do anything ever.
I'd like to point out for the record that none of us said that.
I did.
Actually, Delvo definitely
The one
did.
person that said it is asleep and can't hear you.
It doesn't matter.
Trist.
My character's pissy. You
Yeah,
guys make me.
he is.
This is basically what happens when you get Trist mad. He gets petty and cowardly. Yeah.
And Sleepy Delvo. And the reason we're still in combat rounds is he has 10 of them, and then he wakes up.
Yeah, I'm still mad.
He's not raging,
Right.
however.
Yeah, my rage is over, but like cards on the table with the madness still on me, as soon as I break this save, I'm gonna rage and break these manacles.
I am going to walk over, and I'm going to use my minor illusion cantrip to recreate the image of the painting that Sana did in the first room to try and calm him down.
It is up to you whether or not that works, Ulf. I'm not sure.
Still laughing. Like
Losing
that,
my mind laughing.
So
I go to check on the vicinity of where Delvo was because I know something took hold with the spell. It
there's
just
like
wasn't what I wanted.
half a hand poking out of the circle.
God. Korath, why do you test me so? All right. I go forth into the room. I'm tying the rope around Krenin. I'm tying the rope around Delvo because my plan currently is to get up there, haul him up, then come back down. And that is what I informed the rest of you. I'm going to haul Delvo up and then come back down, and then we'll haul Honyahaka back up because I'm done with this place.
Delvo is asleep.
That's why I gotta haul him up with the rope.
Delvo is asleep. He's not magically enchanted to sleep forever.
I wake him up.
There you go. So you slap the shit out of Delvo.
Gently, please.
It actually
Shit.
says that you have to wake him vigorously.
God. Fine.
You shake him awake, dude. Whatever. Don't worry about it. And Sajad, you should have taken one more damage. I misfavored enemy.
That's
Your
all right.
favorite enemy is humanoid.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So Delvo wakes up.
What
How's your head?
Honyahaka still cackling.
Time for another save. That is a 19. I'm betting that that's safe.
And that does, and your round is burned.
Ah, okay. But now I'm just growling and looking at these manacles that I have on.
Tursta, there is now a growling manacled man.
I freely admit I'm metagaming, but I fucking loathe PvP, so I'm putting Honyahaka down. So there's the first swing. It worked.
That's gonna hit. My armor class is 13.
So that's actually 14 damage.
Half to 7.
Yep.
You're not raging anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not raging. Okay. I am bleeding quite a lot because you have
Yeah.
slashed me in my chest. Are you getting advantage on these because I'm prone?
You're prone, you're incapacitated, you're manacled, take your pick.
Okay, gotcha.
Although I'm pretty sure a 9.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Although that would have been bringing the pommel down on your skull to knock you out rather than actually trying to murder you with a hatchet. Well, no, sorry, that's the hatchet. Whacking you with the flat of it to try to knock you out.
Honiaka eats it like he's Heihachi.
Trist.
Back to sleep!
Oh my god.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep!
Do what the lizard man says. Oddly, he's being very useful here. Do I need to roll? I don't need to roll a 20 to hit that. I just default.
No, you don't. You don't roll. I have to make a 17. So I don't take damage.
Just feel you feel insulted. That's all.
It's just making me madder.
Great.
If I can break these manacles off, I'm gonna fucking headbutt you.
Better the other angry one than the people who are sane, who have not been affected by the bad.
Room.
I'm going to stand up and start climbing the rope.
There we go.
If Krenin hadn't have cast the spell on me and I hadn't noticed him cast the spell on me, I would have gone for you because I perceive you as an easier target to kill.
Sana.
Much easier target.
And if Keely had
Can
been
I-
here, I would have killed
Can I grant Sana a bardic inspiration for her attempting to calm him down with the picture so that she can roll with advantage?
That is not how Bardic Inspiration
Okay.
works at
Never
all.
mind.
You say, I'm giving someone inspiration, you hand them a die, and they choose when to use it.
Okay. Well, then I will hand Sana a die, and she can choose to use it.
Anytime in the next 10 minutes.
What would that fall under, Ulf?
I don't know. You're attempting to influence someone's mental state. I mean, it's a charisma roll.
And then you have a D6 to add to it, I believe, because of the
Correct.
bardic inspiration.
At
Yeah,
this
you
level.
can add that, I think, after the d20 hits the table, before Old tells you
Before I
whether
say
it's
what.
successful, though. Yeah. Because Bardic Inspiration is cool. Okay!
Good
Yay!
So
In
Honiaka's
for
like
penny, in for pound.
panting on the floor. His eyes kind of wild. Then all of a sudden he's panting on the floor. His eyes are less wild. He clearly has a realization of I done fucked up.
Be calm, my friend. Be calm. It is magic in your mind. Be calm.
What happened? Did I hurt anyone?
Darn sure tried.
I am ashamed.
And Delvo has fucked off up the rope.
If it makes
Yep.
you feel better, I'm just about as angry. Mm,
Let us be rid of this place.
I don't like it.
I move to him and remove the manacles from his wrists.
Okay.
Upon him trying to remove the manacles from my wrists, I actually pull my hands away a little bit to kind of stop him from doing it, as if I'm scared that it's going to come back.
We can pull him up. Leave for now.
I have to go through a thresh.
Very well.
I would not take the chance.
Not smart.
All right, everyone. Devil has already gone back up the rope. I suggest we leave this place.
That dick. No teamwork.
For the record,
All
on the
right.
surface, you feel much better about things.
All right.
What's that?
Everybody go back up, and when it's just me and Honeyhawk, I'll remove the manacles and go up.
Tursta will climb, but he's taking Honyahaka's greatsword with him.
On the surface, you feel much better about things.
Oh,
Is the squirrel lady still there?
I will also go back up.
Yeah, she is sitting in a tree not far away.
I'll just say in her direction. You're right. We shouldn't have gone down there.
yeah, it's the worst. Sorry I got mad at people.
I remove the manacles and then move up the rope.
I just stand down there with my head hung in shame for a couple of long seconds, and then I climb up after he's given me a good enough berth.
It's okay, Wolfie.
Once I get back to the surface, I don't even ask for my sword back.
I literally put a hand on your back. It's okay, Wolfie.
Teresa, give him his sword.
Wait until the ship.
As you wish.
I'll
Tursta's
hold.
gonna nod.
It is clear that that place was designed to drive people mad, and thus her people were forced to destroy each other. It's terrible.
The wolf does not turn on his back.
Not voluntarily, but they took the choice out of your hands.
Indeed. The whole point was to fuck with us, and every time we went through a threshold, I got madder and madder. You're just a little bit easier to poke into that. It's your job. Really good at it.
I suggest that we leave this place and never come back.
Not a pleasant place. We should bring the squirrel girl, though. She seems cool.
Absolutely. If she wishes to come, and I hope she does.
Is she even
Can't.
here?
She's in the tree. Points.
Yes, but I can't speak to her directly, otherwise I would just say so.
World without Doom Fortress, or world without creepy Doom Hole. Hate and anger.
It's clear that that neither of these civilizations built this place. But this place has been an enigma from the start.
Clearly.
When we pass back through the jungle, I'd like to stop by that pool again.
Should be easy enough.
When we get back to the pool, I'm going to take a few minutes to kneel down beside it and put my hands in it and wash my face, and I'm just going to say a silent prayer of apology to my ancestors for the shame and for trying to hurt my pack. And after I've had those few minutes, I'll follow everybody back to the hole so that we can go back to the ship. The sky hole, not the fucking mad hole.
Doom Hole. It is a Doom Hole. I agree. It is very much a Doom Hole.
So for the record, that was either 3 failed saves or a failed save and a critical failure. Like in a row. So what I was hoping was somebody was going to hit 2 and get really fucking angsty with people, and you guys were going to put it together that the cave makes people angry. And instead, Honyahaka just went, fuck it all! Ah!
Well, the thing that threw it was Coddle getting 2 20s in a row and him going off at the same time as Honyahaka. Like, there was nothing for us to draw any conclusions on there other than they both got spiky at the same time and one guy drew first.
Oh, I didn't get the same as him.
I'm sure you didn't, but you have perfect knowledge of the situation. We did not. You both got pissy at the same time.
I see. What
Yeah,
you're
we
saying.
did.
I see what you all said.
Yeah, all 3 of us failed our rolls on the same save, and so all of us started getting really pissy with each other at about the same time.
I'm just really happy I play a coward.
I was so scared that I was going to kill someone.
If you went for me and you hit me once, you probably could have.
I've never had to purposely be angsty with other party members before. That was pretty interesting.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm very happy I'm playing a character that isn't a rager. Like, it's like the first time I'm playing a character that's not a rager, and I'm like, oh my god. Yay for being a petty little bastard when I'm mad and not actually being, like, angry.
As you guys make your way out of the jungle, you have to kind of wait around by the hole for the sun to rotate out of position for you to move. Because it is just this blazing ball of heat coming down through that hole. And as it traverses your location and you're able to move out again, everything else goes well. You aren't ambushed by the Marmatinis on your way.
I'm a little disappointed.
The flying squirrel lady does leave with you on the condition that she doesn't have to live forever in the death sand.
Nah, she won't live in
No. Yeah, we promised.
Have we been able to get a name out of her, or she's just...
I'm going to
Same
add
thing.
Speak with Animals to my regular rotation, so once I get a rest, I will be able to ask her.
As you continue to like attempt to make it understood, she doesn't seem to have one.
We hold
Oh,
on.
no.
Question, Ulf.
Okay.
I don't have anything supernatural like that yet. That's level 3 when Ranger gets some goofy. But could I at least use animal handling to communicate stuff to her, like, go here, do this, very basic crap, but that kind of thing. Cool.
She is smart enough that yes.
Cool.
But you guys make your way back through the portal and back onto the ship, and that is where we will cut things, because there would be immediate Keely, like, what happened nonsense. And she's not
And
actually
explaining
here.
it.
They would see them immediately, see that
This
they're
is
like
going to be so much fun to read.
just not deserved, but like
And it is 11 o'clock, which is stop time. So
And like I have a black eye from